This lesson reviews the meaning of exponents and explains the multiplication properties of exponents. An exponential expression or power represents repeated multiplication. A power has a base and an exponent. The exponent tells you how many times to use the base as a factor. For example, 3 to the power of 2 is 2 factors of 3, and 4 to the power of 3 is 3 factors of 4. It's important that you understand the difference between these two expressions. With the grouping symbol, this expression, -3 to the power of 2, means 2 factors of -3, which is positive 9, since the product of two negatives is a positive. Without the grouping symbol, this expression means -1 times 3 to the power of 2, which is -1 times 9, which is -9. Before moving on, it's probably a good idea to review the meaning of a negative sign. There are two ways to look at it. First, the expression -a means the opposite or inverse of a. For example, for a equals 3, -a equals the opposite or inverse of 3, which is -3. For a equals -5, -a equals the opposite or the inverse of -5, which is +5. The second way to understand a negative sign, -a is equivalent to -1 times a. This is called the property of -1. So for a equals 3, -a equals -1 times 3, which is -3. For a equals -5, -a equals -1 times -5, which is +5. So returning to this expression, -3 squared is the opposite or the inverse of 3 squared, which is the opposite or inverse of 9, which is -9. Or -3 squared is -1 times 3 squared, which is -1 times 9, which is -9. It's very important that you understand expressions with exponents and negative signs. Now that we've reviewed exponents, these are the multiplication properties of exponents that are used to simplify expressions with powers and multiplication. These aren't new algebraic properties, but shortcuts based upon the meaning of exponents. For a product of powers, add the exponents. For a power of a power, multiply the exponents. For a power of a product, apply the power to each factor of the product. If you learn to understand what these expressions mean, you won't have to memorize these rules because they'll just make sense. This example helps you understand the rule for a product of powers. The expression x to the 3 times x to the 2 means 3 factors of x times 2 factors of x, which adds up to 5 factors of x. So it makes sense that you would add the exponents, 3 plus 2, for a total of 5 factors of x. This example helps you understand the rule for a power of a power. The expression x to the 3 to the power of 2 means 2 factors of x to the 3, which adds up to 6 factors of x. So it makes sense that you would multiply the exponents, since multiplying 2 times 3 means 2 groups of 3, or 6 factors of x. It's very easy to get these two properties mixed up. However, if you take the time to learn and understand what they mean, you'll never get confused. This example helps you understand the rule for a power of a product. The expression 5x to the power of 2 means 2 factors of 5x. If you rearrange the factors, you can see this is 2 factors of 5 and 2 factors of x. So it makes sense that you would apply the power of 2 to the factors of 5x. For 2 factors of 5 times 2 factors of x, which is 25x squared. Here are some more examples to help you understand how to simplify powers with products. In this expression, there's no exponent for the second variable. When there's no exponent, it's x to the 1. So add the exponents 6 plus 1 for x to the 7. This expression is a string of things multiplied together, so you can rearrange the multiplication. Then negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. For the factors of x, add the exponents, and the final answer is negative 12x to the 3. For this expression, you have to use a combination of properties. First, simplify x to the 2 to the power of 2 by multiplying the exponents for x to the 4. Then add the exponents for x to the 5. For the final example, you also have to use a combination of properties. First, you have a power of a product, so apply the power of 2 to each of these factors. For negative 3 to the power of 2 times x to the 4 to the power of 2. Then negative 3 to the power of 2 is 9. And x to the 4 to the power of 2 is a power of a power, so multiply the exponents for a final answer, 9x to the 8. This lesson reviewed the meaning of exponents and explained the multiplication properties of exponents. This lesson is brought to you by the Math Fun Academy. Its continuing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new math and new equations, to boldly go where no math student has gone before.